What's up, folks? I'm Dwayne.
I'm Alicia.
And this is Blackboard Gaming, where we teach you about all these great board games that are out there,
waiting to be played by you and yours. I'm a simple man, don't wanna complicate you.
Hey, everybody! Today, we're going to talk about an expansion. And it's an expansion that Alicia is excited to talk about.
We're going to talk about an expansion to one of my favorite games. We're going to talk about Cascadia Landmarks.
Cascadia Landmarks is designed by Randy Flynn, Molly Johnson, Robert Melvin, and Sean Stankiewicz, and published by AEG and Flat Out Games.
Let's go to the table for a brief overview of what this expansion adds to the game.
Cascadia Landmarks is the first expansion for Cascadia, which won the 2022 Spiel des Jahres, which means Game of the Year. This expansion adds 45 habitat tiles to the game, which include 15 new keystone tiles. Now, if you remember in the base game of Cascadia, the keystone tiles had one specific wildlife type and one specific habitat. The new keystone tiles, they still feature one specific wildlife type, but they include multiple habitats on those tiles. It also adds these 35 wildlife tokens, 15 nature tokens, and 5 starter tiles. Now, all these can be added to the base game of Cascadia to allow for a 5th or 6th player. And once these components are added to the game, they do not have to be removed. The expansion also adds 15 new wildlife scoring cards, 3 for each of the different wildlife types. Also included is the Landmarks module, hence the name of the expansion. You have 30 of these landmark tokens and 60 of the landmark scoring cards. To play the game using the Landmarks module, as part of setup, after each player has gotten their starter habitat tile, they're also going to get an extra keystone tile to place in their starting environment. We will reveal habitat tiles that are being used in the game until the same number equal to the number of players have been revealed. And then starting with the last player, they're going to choose a habitat tile and place it in their environment. Next, we will shuffle up each of the 5 decks of landmark scoring cards. So here you got forests, prairies, rivers, wetlands, and mountains. And after shuffling those, we will reveal a number of cards equal to the number of players. So we're setting up for a 3-player game, so we reveal 3 cards from each deck. And we will place those landmark scoring cards over near the wildlife scoring cards so that all players can see them. And then we will place a number of landmark tokens of each type equal to the number of players near those cards. So gameplay will proceed as normal with only one exception. If I was to place a habitat tile out into my environment, which adds a 5th or greater tile to a specific habitat type. For example, if I took this habitat tile and by placing it here, now my river habitat goes across 5 different tiles. Then, if I want to, I could take one of those landmark tokens and place it on the tile that I just placed. I can't place it on another tile. It has to be on that specific tile. And then I would take one of the scoring cards, landmark scoring cards, matching that habitat type. So I could choose one of these. So if I chose this one, this will give me 3 points at the end of the game. If I chose this one scores 1 point for each hawk on a river. So if you see, I already got one here and one up there. This one allows me to combine two of my largest river corridors when scoring. So right now I have this corridor here, but I also just have the start of one up there. So I can add them together at the end of the game. Now, once I've gotten this specific habitat, this landmark token, I cannot get another one of the same type. But I can go after the other 4 habitat landmark tokens. So if later on in the game, if I was to place this tile here, I got a forest space that goes across 5 different tiles. So I can get this landmark forest token and place it on that tile there. Once the game has ended, we will score up our points per usual. But then we will add any scores that we got from our landmark scoring cards. And we record those on this new scoring pad that comes with the expansion. And then once everyone has counted up their points, whoever has the most points will be the winner of Cascadia with the landmarks expansion. So Cascadia came out in 2021. And I think when we did our favorite board games of 2021, it was at the top of our list.
Actually, it was at the top of my list. It was my number 1.
Yeah, you really loved Cascadia.
Yes.
I think it was either my number 1 or number 2. But all I know, it was in my top 3. And I loved Cascadia. I love playing Cascadia with you. And so when I first heard that they were coming out with an expansion, I was like, Alicia, guess what? They got an expansion for Cascadia, because we don't really do expansions. You know, I got a few expansions to games, but not a whole lot, because, you know, finding time to play the base game is a challenge in and of itself.
It really is.
But, you know, if it's a game that, you know, we really love, then I definitely would check out the expansion. Okay. So I knew that you were going to be excited about this one. I mean, I think was this on your list for when we went to Gen Con?
It actually was.
Yeah. So, okay. So with that said, what do you think about Cascadia Landmarks?
All right. So one of the things that I love about Cascadia is, of course, you're placing the wildlife in the appropriate habitat. But another thing that I love is you're also trying to build up a large area of each habitat.
Yeah, those corridors.
Yes.
Those habitat corridors.
And honestly, that's a lot of fun for me, too. What I love about landmarks is it actually rewards you when you build up these habitats.
Yeah, I like that, because, you know, when I first tried Cascadia, it took me a minute, because, you know, I was focused on getting those wildlife tokens out onto the tiles and stuff like that. And it has the spots and shows you can put a bear here, you can put an eagle here, you can put a fox or an elk on this tile. So I was like paying attention to that, but, you know, I wasn't paying attention to building up those habitats.
Right.
So I wasn't doing well at that.
Yes.
So what I like about the landmarks is like that little nudge, like, hey, pay attention to the habitats. Pay attention to the habitat. Because like I said, the symbols on the tiles says pay attention to the wildlife. This one says pay attention to the habitats.
Yes.
So I really, really like that. And I love the fact that it gives you that extra complexity to, you know, I was finding myself enjoying placing out my rivers or my mountains and all that.
So I was always deliberate and careful to make sure I was building up each habitat.
That's how she always won.
But I was even more deliberate in being strategic with that. So
yeah.
That just, it has all the fun, enjoyment, and charm of the base game, but the landmarks just enhances the enjoyment.
Yeah, it does, because it makes your environment more personal.
And,
you know,
and I like the 3D.
Yeah, I love those little tokens, because
yes.
it made me like, I love that feeling of like, ooh, I can get one of them river tokens. I love the way those tokens look.
Yes.
So I enjoy putting those in my environment. I'm like, this is my environment.
Yes.
So I was okay with that.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to be honest. I don't know if we'll ever play this at 5 or 6 players.
I know I won't. I won't.
See, I will play it at 5 or 6 if it was the only game and we have, because I don't want to leave anything out, because they do have anybody out rather, but they do have a variant that speeds up the gameplay in the game, in the rule book. So I read over that and that was pretty cool. But I could see us, like, I think we would still be 3 or 4 players.
So here's the difference between he and I. I just don't like playing with that many people. I love people, understand, but when it comes to gameplay, for me, 4 is my sweet spot, and beyond 4, it depends upon the game. But yeah, when it gets to 5 and 6, I don't really like to play board game. Like, card games are different, but board games,
No, I get that. Because it's a few games that we have that I'm like, I don't want to go beyond 4 players or whatever. So, but I think it'd be cool in this game. If we had if it ever happened, I could see doing it. But I'm glad that they did it, because I think a lot of people need to explore this game, because it is a great family weight, easy, it's just a great game.
It is strategic, but it's family weight.
Yeah, I mean, and then if you're playing with youngers, it gets, there's variants you can use. So I just really like the new Landmarks module. I love that they added that to the game. Now, we were so kind to get, we were so fortunate, rather, to get the Cascadia Landmarks sent to us by the publisher, which was great. So I guess you could say this video is sponsored by AEG and Flat Out Games. And they were kind enough to send us a few copies of Cascadia also, along with a Cascadia backpack that she done already ganked. And, and I haven't seen it since I opened the box. I haven't seen it. So I don't know where it is, but I know she got it.
Okay, listen, people. I got a new job and I got a new computer. So the new bag was a great way to carry my new computer to my new job.
Okay, but it has Cascadia written on it. It's a really nice book bag. But with that said, what we want to do is, like I said, we're saying Cascadia is a great game. So, thank you AEG for sending us, but we want to kind of pay it forward. So today we're gonna do a contest, and I'm not sure how long the contest is gonna last yet, but we're gonna give away not 1, but 2 copies of the base game of Cascadia. So if you definitely want to enter this contest, when I'm pretty sure you will, leave in the comments below. What did I do with heat? Hashtag heat giveaway. So hashtag Cascadia Landmarks. I think that's what we're going to do.
Okay.
Hashtag Cascadia Landmarks. And we're going to give away 2 copies of Cascadia. And good luck to everybody that enters into this contest. I mean, we really love this game, and we want to spread the love for this game. Now, a couple other things we want to mention. Well, one, it's still
Sickle Cell Month, so we're
remembering.
Still,
and also, like I said, we have merch. Don't forget. So check out the link in the description below if you want to check out our merch. And like I said, Cascadia Landmarks, great addition. I don't see playing Cascadia without that Landmarks module now.
I don't either. Yes.
It has to be there.
Yes.
So, I'm Dwayne.
I'm Alicia.
This has been Blackboard Gaming.
We will see you next time.